I know you just went and interviewed Alex Jones and had to sit down with Alex Jones.
Yeah.
What was that kind of like? Do you think the guy was absolutely crazy? Do you think he was overwhelmed by the lawsuit at this point? Or do you feel like he's on point with some stuff and he's just too loud for the world these days? Like,
I don't know. It's such a tough one because I do see both angles of it. You know what I mean? And I had a lot of heat from a lot of my fans for even talking to him. I mean, the $1 billion verdict, he probably has between $2 and $3 million. And InfoWars or Free Speech Systems is filing for bankruptcy. So he's not going to, the Sandy Hook families aren't going to see that money.
right.
But I guess it's a precedent in the future for it's like because he was really coming after the parents as well.
Right.
You know, like he put one of the parents' addresses up. I mean,
It's egregious. I mean, it's egregious when somebody and I can't imagine when you go through something like that.
Yeah.
And there's this voice that gets loud.
Yeah. But I'm reading this book called Sandy Hook by Elizabeth Williamson. And like some of the dudes that Alex was like platforming on his shit. I hate saying platforming, but like this dude Wolfgang Helbig. And there's people who like were writing like 4,000 emails a day to the Sandy Hook families, like type shit, like harassing them, stalking them, leaving messages saying they're going to kill them, accusing them of keeping their kids alive as sex slaves in the attic and shit. Horrible stuff. So it wasn't a lot of people. It's not just about Alex. It's just some of the people.
About the ripple effect.
Yeah, because there's a whole community of lost people who devote their whole life to harassing the victims' families of the Colorado Aurora shooting, of Sandy Hook, of Uvalde. Like it's a whole community of crisis actor followers, like false flag people.
Have you been able to meet any of those types of folks, even just to see like? Because I think one thing that's really interesting that you do, and I really like seeing it, man, is that you kind of you go and just kind of listen to people. It's like, hey, here's what's going on. And I think it's really powerful, even as you say, like some of your followers or supporters, like, oh, why would you even give this guy space? But people would say that too about having Bobby Kennedy on here. It's like, why would you give this guy space? Like, he's a human being. He's, first of all, one of the smartest guys that I know. Yeah. Like really interesting and amazing friend. Yeah. So it's like, I wouldn't not trust him. Like, why wouldn't I listen and hear what his thoughts are and what's going on?
I just think like the more liberal audience is like super into deplatforming, and they think that like giving someone giving a problematic person a platform is somehow supporting them. And I always refute that like this. If it's a lesser known shitty person that I'm cherry picking to kind of dunk on, that's fucked up. You know, if I bring some white nationalist from the cuts of Alabama on my show just to like grill him and make him look stupid, right? I am inadvertently growing his audience by bringing him on, because the people who watch my shit and even if they agree with me, his name is now out there. I've elevated his name to the top. And so people will know his name, they'll go to his website, you kind of increase traffic for that person, right? And you create future white nationalists and vice versa. But like Alex Jones, everybody knows who that is. He's a household name. The Proud Boys, everybody knows who that is. So when I'm interviewing people like that most of my audience doesn't like, I am not increasing their fame or increasing their exposure, because with or without me, everyone's going to know who those people are. Right. Alex Jones is on the front page of the New York Times. The Proud Boys are being investigated by the FBI for January 6th. So me interviewing them, I'm not platforming or increasing their audience at all. But, if I was to interview like more lesser known, fringe people, I wouldn't do that,
Yeah, like if you were to interview like Whitey Killer 1200, or you were to interview like Slave Buyer 55.
Exactly.
Then you would be,
But mainstream media, like liberal media, does that shit. They find like the dumbest person they can, and they're like inside the Ku Klux Klan, and it's and it's like some like 300-pound like CSI Miami watcher sitting in his chair. He's like, "White people, we're just better at stuff, man." And like, and the journalist is like, "What do you mean by that? How can you say something like that?" He was like, I'm not doing that shit, man.
Hope you enjoyed that video, and you can watch another. And you can watch this one, you can watch this one. Different options, different choices. Some guy just brings you one option, not this guy. Two options. Watch one, this one or this one.